Hello and welcome to this session. My name is Youssef, and today I have super great news for you. Databricks has announced the public preview of DB Connect v2, which will allow, of course, developers to use the power of Databricks from any application running everywhere. What's DB Connect? So it's client library for Databricks runtimes, which will allow you to write jobs using Spark APIs and, of course, run them remotely on a Databricks cluster instead of the local Spark session. And when can I use DB Connect? So can use it to run a large Spark jobs from any Python application where you can, of course, import PySpark. You can do step through and debug code in your IDE, like when even working with a remote, of course, cluster, and you can interact quickly when developing libraries. And the question, how can I get started? What are the requirements? So you need to have a Databricks runtime 13 ML or Databricks runtime 13, and it supports only Unity catalog clusters. It either include single user or shared cluster access mode. And something very important, how can I install Databricks Connect client? So it's very easy. Just need to go and install this Databricks Connect 13. And when it's done, you need to do some other configuration. So first, you need to go and get the host name. So for my case, that would be my host name that I need to add over here in this Databricks session. Then I need to get a token, and to generate a token, I just need to go to user settings, generate a token, and of course ID, and I will copy this token over here, and then of course Databricks cluster ID, and for this just need to go to compute and create on this cluster, and then copy this string over here and then paste it. And for my example, I'm creating this Databricks session, and from there I will just go and grab this Titanic v1, which is a data that I have on my Databricks environment. It's called Titanic v1, and with this Titanic v1 I will do some I will create a new column called age transform, where I will do like if the age is lower than 26, then it's young. If it's higher or equal to 26, this person is old. I will add the status, whether this person is dead or alive, and I will store this table. So now I will just run this code. And then, of course, I will save this table, and then based on this table, I will run other aggregations and then save it as a Titanic, of course, second table called Titanic aggregation. So you see, step 1 is done, step 2 is done. So now if I go to you see that the new tables has been created. So if I click on aggregation, I will still benefit from the lineage because I'm using, you see, Titanic v1 was used to create Titanic filter, and Titanic filter was used to create Titanic aggregation. And of course, it's very useful because here, this DB Connect library is not dependent on Visual Studio or any other IDE, which means you can use it with all your favorite IDEs to run your code and benefit from the compute of Databricks. You can add them on applications, and if somehow your cluster is off, when you run your code, then it will trigger the cluster, and the cluster will start. So make sure to follow the Databricks blog to get the latest news, and see you.